Thank you for joining me on the channel. Mazarov Tarot. Excuse me if I have something on my face. I did just eat. It is basically 5 o'clock in the morning, but I am well rested. I did get some sleep, so I am just waking up. I have to get ready for work, but nonetheless, this is going to be a conspiracy theory conversation, just some things that I have observed, and also it's going to be reading point 6.1. I do believe it's going to also be piggybacking off of my previous reading, child sacrifices. All right, so the first thing I actually want to talk about is on a personal note, but I do feel like it will resonate with others out there, possibly. Okay. And I want to talk about this out-of-body experience that I am having, i.e. called life. Now, I don't know why we do not associate. I feel like we're so dissociated, overstimulated with drugs, all the things that tell you that you are probably having an out-of-body experience, right? That a psychologist would tell you that. On a negative spectrum. I don't know why once you are born, we do not look at it as an out-of-body experience, but it is. And I was looking at the shell that I had came out of. And it's so weird because I have fought with that shell. I have fought with the flesh. I have not fought with my spirit. I have not fought. I fight with other people's spirits, yes, but I don't, And it's so weird because I was looking at it like a Chuck and Amara situation. If you are familiar with the show Supernatural, Chuck is an off the like energy, if you will. And he has these supernatural books about principalities, the principles, and everything, whatever, but he didn't know that he was God, but he had a sister out there named Amara that was cognizantly aware that it was in this God-like energy. And I do believe that it wanted to be the only one. Because if you knew your brother had reincarnated, or if you knew that your brother was alive, again, it doesn't have to be a biological female. Oh, I didn't say that. I use male and female pronouns, but you don't have to be a biological man or woman to be neither. Amara would have been out there reigning fucking supreme. Darkness would have been reigning supreme, but the darkness was connected to white woman. And I'm going to talk about that in a second when I get to be piggybacking off of my part 6 reading. And I was speaking about Gotham City. Something was the goal. I do feel, and I had previously talked about how, because it's for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, it was Golgotha or something like that. And I had mentioned Gotham City, Clark Kent, Batman, so on and so forth. But I was looking at mine because mine is really blatant. My mother's name is Michelle. Michelle is a variation of Michael, which is a archangel or a knight of God, if you will. And Michelle is like a house or home. So my mother represents like a Knights Templar, if you will. And but having an out-of-body experience, leaving the house, running away from the house, not wanting to be connected to that entity. The thing is, it's an image. It's an image of Chuck. It's a dark image of Chuck. It's a female image of Chuck, and it's very promiscuous, overly sexualized. The thing is, it's not my flesh. I don't know who's conjured that up. Merman. I don't know who's conjured it up. Because the image that Michelle, but it's not, when I'm saying the name Michelle, is so very tricky because you could think that I'm talking about me, a spiritual being, myself, I. And I'm not. And I'm not even talking about this flesh. I am not. I am talking about a whole nother entity. But it's not us. Because I'm not tethered to it. But in a way, I could have never been. And the thing is, the image that is perpetuated is that I am big, voluptuous, older, darker, wear wigs, balder, big ass, a snitch, tied in with the police. And I will sleep with married men. I will move in random men to be around my children. I will date a dark Wade or dark Pac looking energy, a Tony Chad Tubbs energy. I will not. I will not. I will not. But that's the image and a lie that has been put on me. And then the grand finale is that I will be with Michael. I will be with my brother. I will not. I don't know who's handling that image. I don't know. It's a distorted image. And the image that has been perpetuated since I'm having this out-of-body experience and I'm able to look at something that is not myself is of slut or whore, a sexual being that will leave behind their friends, leave behind. I don't have friends. I've never had friends. That's going to the kickbacks, getting drunk and getting high, playing cards with everybody. I never did that a day in my life. No. That is in bed having children with drug dealers. I never did that a day in my life. I never did that a day in my life. So I'm not sure what game is being played. I already know that I'm an innocent bystander. But it just makes me sick because they're saying that I'm an out-of-body experience of a teen mother sleeping with some fallen angelic that is a drug dealer, bad for the community, murdering and killing. I sleep with married men. I'm having men come to my house. Wanting to be with this guy that'll fondle my kid, or this guy that'll disturb my spirit, and this guy that'll, physically abuse me. Because that's something that I also saw while having this out-of-body experience and looking at my house or my previous show, is that men want to abuse it. So i.e. me. They want to beat it. The thing is, that's not me. It is alive, but it's just a clay. And it could be being used by Satan to look like it has a legacy, Michael. And you don't. And you don't. I just found it very disturbing, though, because it's just a mirror. It's just a mirror for me to witness. The thing that's so scary is that I'm not witnessing myself. Now, I am not the fairest of them all. No. I don't like to look in the mirror for long periods of time, believe it or not. If I am, it's for vain reasons. It really ain't. Usually I'm trying to get ready for work and make myself look presentable. I just don't be walking around with Chuck looking in the mirror saying who's the fairest of them all. Because the mirror be done said it damn self. I don't know who has put this Magdalene energy, prostitute energy on me. It's very sick. It's very twisted. I've never been a man. I don't know. And I've never been with a man. That's not divine. Somebody never recovered. But I just found it really fascinating. I just found it really, really fascinating because somebody has lied. Somebody has lied. If God wanted Michael, God would have not called cherubims forth in the garden. If God wanted an archangel, he would have not created men. If that's what God wanted. It's not what God wanted. I don't know who's fictitiously perpetuating this narrative of I as the other half of something that's nobody wanted. Nobody created. It's a monster raised up from the dead, and I don't know who fucking conjured it. But I'm just having an out-of-body experience, and when I look at my body, I do not like the way that it has been handled, nor do I like the way or appreciate the way that it has been fucking treated. It has been treated like a slut, and then some way, somehow, it has decided to try to sell me out my own flesh. To punish the spirit for your fleshly desires is sick. It is sick. Let me tell you why. I have no control over what my mother, my house, that body does. I have no control. Half the time, I'm not even aware of what it is doing. I am not walking with it. I am around. You can call on me if you need me. And sometimes I answer and sometimes I don't. But I do not appreciate the way that it has been treated. And I cannot be all of you fucking homes and houses and, excuse me. I cannot be all of you fucking people's spirits either. And I guess she can't be all you motherfuckers' houses. But they think the house always win. Because you would sell out your spirit. You would spiritually persecute your spirit to save your flesh. Is you dumb? I'm the only thing that will survive. And I'm not a principality. I was once with you, whole entirety. The thing that zones me out the most when I'm having this out-of-body experience and I'm looking at my shell is the way that it has been defiled. The way it has been violated. Since a child, abused, mishandled. My spirit that's having an out-of-body experience is with its father, and it doesn't like it. But it is immortal. Somehow, some way, my spirit has become immortal. It just on me out. It's bigger, better. I just don't like the way that it has been treated. It has been abused. It has been hurt, sexually violated. And I feel it. I feel all of that. And I'm no longer in control because the flesh has taken over and decided to make decisions. Decisions that it cannot make. It does not know how to sit alone and be alone, the flesh. It fears it. Spirit does not fear being alone. It fears all you bodies. It fears it. I would have never, not ever, ever, never, ever, never, 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 never been with any of the people that my previous body is with now. No. I would have never did it. Alright, so let's go ahead. I will come back to that because I have to be done by 5:30, so. On my previous reading, I had talked about Enoch, essentially. A descendant of Cain. essentially, but he likes to be called Jesus now. And, or excuse me, all the people would have been Enoch walking with God. When Jesus would have been crucified, it would have been heaven on earth. It would have been heaven on earth. Because they would have all been walking with God. They would have been in Eden the whole time. And those people decided to turn on God in Eden and kill it. They didn't like walking with God. The thing that scared me so much is that they said that when Jesus was arrested, or Simon was arrested, they started mocking him. Now, I already talked about a mock trial. And that's when you test somebody at a testable image. And that's what Jesus said he did not want to become. Somebody would have been a child. And the thing is, they said that there was an inscription over Jesus' head. And it said that this is Jesus, the King of the Jews. They had a marking on his head, a holy marking over the head of somebody. Now, Jesus, being the King of the Jews, is a negative because we already know that Jewish people have stolen everything from the fucking beginning. Because they coveted after what their brother had. It's just not Prince Harry. It is Prince Harry. It's just not that image that you see. No. Okay? He's not even Harry. And it's not motherfucking Harry Potter. It could be. The only Potter I know is Potiphar, which was the officiant that Joseph came across when he became a slave in Egypt. He didn't become a slave in Egypt. He became an appointed official in Egypt. When that man had that holy marking over his head, says in that he was under the protection of Jesus, the King of Thieves. They wanted to kill him while walking with God in Eden. But that's Enochian. That got something to do with faith and the producing of sons of God. Sons of God came after faith, and Enoch walked together with God. But there's two Enochs. You see? An S. This is Satan. They say Enosh. That's two. But after that one with the faith that was walking with God to see, sons of God showed up in a wicked place. Nephilim. Talking about we are a divine bloodline. We are the elite. We can child sacrifice and we can own physical property. We are man. It would have tried to own my body and defile it. And it felt like it got the right to do. Because it then wrote something. After that, they said that their Lord, after sons of God appeared talking about Da Vinci Code, they said that their Lord, their God, got mad at humanity and wanted to flood it. Because humans were wild, not the Nephilim, not the sons of giant, not the fucking sons of old, not. What God? They would have killed it. They would have killed it in Eden. They would have overpowered their God and says that he's resting, sleeping. and took his shit, being Israel. They would have took his shit. They would have took his place, his world, his people, his faith, his worship. Yeah. They say that the Big Bang has something to do with Indians and a whole bunch of white fucking lame beggars. Peter says, and Lucifer wanted the throne of God. God didn't have a throne. What's a throne? That's a human thing. God wanted to walk with men. God wanted to have free will and allow everybody to have free will. Somebody didn't like the audacity of freedom. Let freedom ring. What the fuck does that even mean? Every time I see a motherfucker put on a ring, baby, somebody making a false, broken motherfucker promise of faithfulness. Or somebody gonna motherfucking get missing and have to go all the way up to the moon where there ain't no motherfucking milk or no nurses. Honey. Because somebody gonna get missing. It's probably gonna be your fucking husband. And that's a big sin to have one in the first place. You got cursed with that fucking responsibility. Don't ever forget it. You once had freedom. Now you don't. Now you don't. And you're so fucked up in the head that you can't be alone. But it ain't you. It's your flesh. Your flesh got desires. It's alive. No. It wants to be alive. My flesh is alive. My flesh is alive. My flesh and my spirit is alive. And I have a goddamn soul about that. And I don't like that my flesh out there. I don't mind it. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's alive. It's being alive, controlled by a serpentine. Big motherfucking monster. I ain't never been beautiful. Spirituality is not beautiful. It's very ugly. It's not ugly. It's the fragile. It's not fragile. It's the child. They keep saying Jesus like the feet. He in the fetal position. You want to see the feet of all. Just being a baby. But all these motherfucking sons of God done showed up after they want to kill a motherfucker while they walk with it in heaven. Talking about Nephilim. We racist. Let's see what we can get. So I'm going to go back to there so we can look at it. It's not the phone. I don't know where they are. I don't know. Wickedness in the world. Wickedness in the world. When human beings began to increase in numbers on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of human were beautiful and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, my spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days would be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterwards when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of human heart was only evil all the time. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. So the Lord said, I will wipe from the face of the earth the human race I have created, and with them the animals, the birds, the creatures that move along the ground. For I regret that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. No. 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 What is that telling me? The earth got a fucking face. I'll wipe from the face of the earth the human race I have created. Basic. The Lord saw, the sons of God saw, to see was, yeah. That's only allowed. You know, a lot of type of Da Vinci Code. You can't have a Batya. You can't have a Sarah. You can't have that. It's tied in with wickedness. It brings about destruction. It allows people to believe that they can reach heights, to covet. But it's not that. They killed God. So, like, I don't know who it says them, but them sons of God said them so. But them killed God, because they said they was walking with Jesus. They was walking with God. Once, man. And Eden. Because they said that Jesus was in paradise false. I don't know where he was in Zion. The thing is, I was thinking about casting stones because I had said that. Well, no, I didn't say cast stones. I said stone to death because it had something to do with. I kind of remember. I think Mary, right? Mary was about to be stoned to death, and Jesus said, "Let him without sin cast the first stone." And I had said that, and then Angie Stone had died. Angie Stone got something to do with the Philosopher's Stone or alchemy, to change something from nothing to something, to make somebody. That's childbirth. You got to do sex rituals, sex magic. I think that's what they were talking about in the Da Vinci Code with her grandpa, with Claire's grandpa. Her declared her grandpa a pervert. But what he was doing was trying to make something out of nothing. A son of old, possibly, with a maid woman, a servant prostitute, a temple prostitute. I'm fucking know. Half her caretakers would have been prostitutes. He was probably trying to have, or she was having an out-of-body experience. I don't know. She probably got born from that, probably her father. To make a pure bloodline. I don't fucking know what it is. But that's alchemy. To make nothing out of something is to create. You have two type of alchemies. You got save yourself alchemy and save yourself alchemy. You got create something out of nothing. A base metal into gold. A base metal. Bring in a base. Is that love on top or 1 + 1? What the fuck is a base metal? I serve the base. Cemetery. I don't know what the base is. It's a sound. Probably ultrasound. It's a beat. I don't know. And then you have the one that they told Simon or Jesus, whoever had that marking over their head, talking about, you know, it should have been a seal of protection, but to them, it just meant to be able to murder it. They told him to save himself in 3 days. And I already talked about 3 days got something to do with 36 hours, money, and the power. The thing is, they told Jesus or Simon, says, save yourself since you want to destroy the temple in 3 days. The temple, your body, save yourself. temple. That got something to do with master builders. Master builders throws up that shit. It got something to do with that. I'm not a master builder, so forgive me. Do not see that and think that I'm boozing. I just wanted to show you what I was talking about. It's really 3. What are they building again? A temple. Surely, a temple. Spirit. I don't know what the fuck this building up. But being a master builder, only master builder throws up that 666 shit. But I got something to do with a temple. A temple. These are temples. They think that they can destroy people. Maybe kill people from afar. Hurt people from afar mentally. They into sorcery. But they do not believe in repercussions. They do not believe in repercussions. They think they live in a gang. Wow. You gotta be really dissociated to believe that you live in a virtual reality. No. If you live solely online, use a lane. People think they live in something called a matrix. That's a trick. To get you to not believe that anything is real. So that way you can go out there and not fight with Jacob. Shit. So you will not fight with somebody. So you will not fight with the powers. Spirit was piggybacking off of Jesus. Or Jesus was piggybacking off of Spirit. They both wanted to hover over the waters at the same time. It was 3 fuckers. Jesus, the pig, flesh, and also Spirit. Jesus thought his flesh is not pig. How preposterous is that? He thought his spirit was lamb. I was looking at that because I was looking at a franchise because I kept looking at Pope Francis Francis that keeps says and he resting in peace. Huh? They said that there's a burning bush god out there, right? If I'm not mistaken, lambs and sheep eat bush. They eat grass. They graze. So do bulls. That bush would have been scared of that goddamn bull because it's trying to eat off of me. That's why that burning bush would have told Moses, you cannot stand by that bull. They would have went down there and created an oppositional energy made out of gold, alchemically still throwing stones to their savior. Did they do that or not in the book of Exodus? Aaron and them collect all the gold and silver of the people that were their followers, betraying them, building up a motherfucking golden calf bull. It would have scared the fuck out of a burning bush. That is its enemy. They would have created an enemy to God, their God. Something that can eat off of it, graze off of it, destroy it, leave it destitute, leave it without anything. So that way it can find a way to have more Zion for itself. But what lineage is that? It was enlightened as hell. Probably a fucking Pharaoh. Probably Egypt. I don't know, witchcraft, I don't give a fuck. They brought it here. They put it up the street or on a fucking wall. I said Stockholm Syndrome. Bitch, miss home. Phone home then. I don't give a fuck, you alien. I don't know. So let's go on to, let's say, and I'm not sure that I already done or something. Let's look at Isaiah, because they said we lost that shit as soon as we got a Halle Bailey. Excuse me. What? Halle Berry? I'm not Halle Bailey either. Fuck DDG. I don't give a fuck about them Daryl. It's for the 6-6. Okay. Judgment and hope. Isaiah 66:8. This is what the Lord says. Heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house you will build for me? Where will my resting place be? Has not my hand made all these things, and so they came into being, declares the Lord. These are the ones I look on with favor, those who have humble and contrite in spirit, and who tremble at my word. Bless me. But whoever sacrifices a bull is like one who kills a person, and whoever offers a lamb is like one who breaks a dog's neck. Bless me. Whoever makes a grain offering is like one who presents pig's blood. And whoever burns memorial incense is like one who worships an idol. They said America idol. American is an idol. Let me get to that real quick. I'm finished reading this. Superman represents a country. I don't know what country it is. It's an alien. It's ET. I don't know where he come from. His biggest wish and desire for landing here is to be embraced by a white house in a white country. Because his country imploded on itself. It fell. It collapsed after having a golden era. And when he got here to this country, wanted to fit in and assimilate with white life, he realized that he could probably be called Job. That's what Superman's name is. Superman's name is Clark Kent. I know what a Clark is. That's like not a superintendent. That's like somebody that serves. That's a job. His name is Job Kent. But he has to wear a disguise. He has to have an alter ego about himself. The alter ego is that he is blind and he cannot see. He needs to see through a lens. But he wants to be in suits and ties, so fucking Megan getting to the royal family as an acting suit. Being depressed or Cypress or fucking great. But Clark Kent is looked at as the savior. Because they will spill his blood if necessary, because them feel like, motherfucker. What's Batman gotta do? Be free. Have a maid. Look himself as God. Because his maid old as fuck, Dustin. He just ain't no goddamn God. He's just a man. In a mechanical suit. It's just a bullshit. And he don't got no special abilities. His special abilities that make him a god that can hover over fucking waters having a higher point of view is something called money. Possessions. Lots of them. Lots of person that was dealing with Sodom and motherfucking Gomorrah. Also dealing with incest. Sleeping with his own children. Because he was drunk. Is Batman and Superman friends? No, they're fucking mortal enemies. Do they know it? No. Because they believe in something called DC. Why? Bitch, it's got Stanley Cups. I don't give a fuck. They have chosen their own ways and they delight in their abominations. So I also will choose harsh treatment for them and will bring on them what they dread. For when I called, no one answered. When I spoke, no one listened. They did evil in my sight and chose what displeases me. Hear the word of the Lord, you who tremble at his word, your own people who hate you. The only issue with that, the only issue is God will be talking about on the spiritual domain. The spirit got nothing to do. Nothing to do. It's a soul trap. Your flesh is not trapped. Your flesh is not trapped. Your flesh is free. Free to be as big as an abomination, immoral, irrational, sexualized, disgusting, dirty as it won't. The soul is trapped. And that is unfair to a person, an energy like myself. Because I has not done that. I am stuck in the house. I was thinking about that for you women. You don't know what it means to be a housewife. To be a soul stuck in a house. With all your unborn children. At least they're not dead. When you become one flesh with your husband, that's one being to be judged by God. Because you done took an oath to do it. What if your husband is a murderer, a slut, a killer? I don't give a fuck if he get a purple heart or a pink heart. What if he's disgusting, vile, abusive? You two now embody that energy. So if you coming in there being clean and pristine and your husband is dirty, you are mucking up yourself, making yourself dirty while you are cleaning him. That is to lose, my friend. The thing is, my husband can't stand my shell. He didn't like my mother. No. He wanted to trap my soul. But he didn't like the way my mother looked. My husband didn't even like the way that I looked. So he was unfaithful to me. And abusive to my children. But wanted to keep me spiritually stuck being a devil. You are having an out-of-body experience from the very beginning, you women. You come out of the body of a man. You've not ever been born or created in the same way he was. You are his feelings embodied. And they want to keep you trapped. You are nothing but so. That's why they want you stuck in a fucking house. Now you got soul up at job and shit. I don't give a fuck. What did they say? They start casting lots. Is that Lot? Or was it Galilee? One of those words meant veils. Jesus, after his Last Supper, having Passover, started having a wine tasting and getting covered up in a fucking veil. I don't like that woman in the yard. Let me see. I said Jesus heals a paralyzed man. A paralyzed. What's a lies? That's a lie. Jesus restored 2 demon-possessed men. I don't like that he restored demonic possessions. No. It's some distance from them, a large herd of pigs were feeding. The demons begged Jesus, if you drive us out and send us into the herd of pigs. He didn't even let them finish. He didn't even let them finish. He was so quick to free them damn demons. He didn't even let them finish. Okay, it says, when he arrived at the other side in the region of Gadarenes, 2 demon-possessed men coming from the tombs met him. They were so violent that no one could pass that way. What do you want with us, Son of God? They shouted. Also, he do say he was an Nephilim. Okay, so who the hell is the Son of Man? Simon is the Son of Man. That was who got murdered. This Son of God didn't do? No? What do you want with us, Son of God? They shouted. Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time? Some distance from them, a large herd of pigs were feeding. The demons begged Jesus, if you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs. He said to them, go. So they came out and went into the pigs, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died in the water. Those tending the pigs ran off, went into the town, and reported all of this, including what had happened to the demon-possessed man. Then the whole town went out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they pleaded with him to leave their region. Why can't Jesus talk to demons? Huh? I don't remember him talking to angels. Did he talk to angels? They said his mama did. His mama talked to angels. Jesus only went out there doing sick shit. He talked to demons. Not only did he talk to demons, he got them demons in the flesh. They said they died in the water. What? Alma says something, and I don't like to say that word. Jesus had people dealing with wanting to off themselves. Because them pigs, whatever, would have not been feeling like they wanted to just jump into a body of water. When he would have cast lots, they would have wanted to jump into water and die. Cause the bank, he was making people do themselves in. He put demons on people's flesh or food. Either he would have poisoned people's food, poisoned the water, freed more demons, and the demons, like once those demons not gonna die. They're gonna have to jump into another fucking thing. The fish, they would have jumped into the fish from jumping into the water, getting out of the pigs once they would have killed it. And then they would have started mercurying up your motherfucking fish supply. I don't know what the fuck. I just feel like that's dangerous to have demons out on the loose. They said the demons died. Demons don't die. They was not doing the living to do that. They killed the thing that I was living. Because Jesus said so. Jesus didn't even rebuke or motherfucking question them. He just said, get 2 dozen. He controlled the demons. That's something God did. He controlled them demons. He tell them demons what to do and how to do it. And then start running the show again. Well, that's cool. It said Jesus forgives and heals a paralyzed man. He saw him lying on a mat. Take heart, sons, your sins are forgiven. After some of the teachers of the law said to themselves, this fellow is blaspheming. Knowing their thoughts, Jesus said, why do you entertain evil thoughts? I'm going to say they entertain it because Jesus put it there. And your heart, which is easier to say, your sins are forgiven, or to say, get up and walk. But I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority, oh my God, authority on the earth to forgive sins. So he said to the paralyzed man, get up. Jesus thought that since that man could not get up and do something, that he is being a sin. He was physically unable to. Jesus said, that's a fucking sin. I got the authority. I told you, get your ass up. What's the sin? What did this sin do? What's his sin? His leg's not working. He not getting back to work. He not ever worked. Jesus don't like that. That man ain't never worked. That's a big fucking sin. That's like looking at somebody in a wheelchair and says, you know what? I think that you a sinner. That's what church should say. If you in a wheelchair and you go to church, they should automatically look at you and says, you a sinner. You a sinner. Why are you a sinner? Because you can't do what Jesus said. And what Jesus said is get your ass up. Wow. So he said to the paralyzed man, get up, take your mat, and go home. The man got up and went home. When the crowd saw this, they were filled with awe, and they praised God who had given such authority to men. I would have never knew that I was being a sinner. I always looked the opposite of Jesus. Every time I see a person, especially young, not old, because I do realize that you can be older and disabled and be a pervert. But younger children, I used to take care of them in wheelchair. I did not look at it as a sin. I looked at it as opposite. They are less likely to sin because they can't do nothing. They are also a soul that's trapped. Jesus said, you sinning. Get your silly twig, boy, and get the fuck up out of here. Well, Jesus started questioning people about fasting. Then John's disciples came and asked him, how is it that we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples do not fast? Jesus answered, how can the guests of the bridegroom mourn while he is with them? The time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them, then they will fast. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, for the patch will pull away from the garment, making the tear worse. Neither do people pour new wine into old wine skins. If they do, the skins will burst. The wine will run out and the wine skins will be ruined. No, they pour new wine into new wine skins and both are preserved. So he just didn't answer the question. He started talking about liquor. You fucking whining. A bride or a groom? A bridegroom? What's that says? What's a bridegroom? A BG's? I don't know the bridegroom. How can a guest of the bridegroom mourn? They asked, why do we fast and you don't go without? Why are we going without and you don't? He said, be my guest. You can mourn. But you gonna get some patches of clothes? Don't shrink them. I don't know what he just had said, but he just didn't answer the questions. He didn't answer. He started talking about liquor. He started saying, pour new wine into new wine skins. And if you're gonna sew up clothes, make sure they're not shrunk. Because how the fuck is a guest gonna question me in the morning? I feel him on that though. I feel him that when you get yourself a servitude job, you just don't want no motherfucking party ask you no questions in the morning. You gotta figure it out. They said Jesus raises a dead girl. He raised it? So he had a child? Jesus had a child. It was dead. The Scorpio? Jesus raised the dead girl once. I'm not raising children. While he was saying this, a synagogue leader came and knelt before him. Baby, I don't want to go to a synagogue. My daughter has just died, but come and put your hand on her and she will live. Jesus got up and went with him, and so he did his deceitful act. That's what I saw. He did his deceitful act. He started touching on a dead body. Just then, a woman who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak. She said to herself, if I only touch this cloak, I will be healed. What? Jesus turned and saw her. Take heart, daughter, he said. Your faith has healed you. And the woman was healed at that moment. When Jesus entered the synagogue leader house and saw the noisy crowd and people playing pipes, he said, go away. The girl is not dead but asleep. But they laughed at him. After the crowd had been put outside, he went in and took the girl by the hand, and she got up. News of this spread throughout the region. I don't like that he was touching some dead body unseemly. That sounds succubus. He thought it was dead. He thought it was dead. He thought something was dead. What does dead mean? I was looking at the watchers because Jesus had a whole bunch of watchers around him because the elite are watchers because they're not going to get involved. But they do watch the destruction. And they do get energy and life of it. Jesus. I was watching Mr. Manhattan from The Watchmen. He was going, when the comedian died, he said, I really can't tell that somebody has died because the physical properties are yet still the same. Time is linear. Time is all encompassing. It is what it is. And he was like, the physical properties are the same, dead or alive. Somebody think people are born dead. So he like to touch them when they ain't able to fight it, stop it, or see it. What he raised up, I don't like that he summoned it. If it died, is the spirit still there? Or did he just raise up an empty vessel? It's dead, girl. I said a girl. Because when he was touching that dead man, he wasn't alone. When he was touching that dead man, he didn't need privacy to do that. He's had them sisters and cousins and brothers in there. But when he started touching that girl, he didn't want nobody to see how he was doing it. I didn't like that 6 shit. Sound succubus, incubus, sound disgusting, pervert. Why would you not want the world to see your wonders? You murderers? Jesus heals the blind and the mute? No. He probably said, shut the fuck up and answer me. The workers are few. I don't like that he healed the blind and the mute because the workers are few. He could probably get you some glasses. I don't know what he can do. They said Jesus went on from there. 2 blind men followed him, calling out, have mercy, I'm not a son of David. This motherfucker got so many names. So I think David God or a man. When he had gone indoors, the blind man came to him and he had asked him, do you believe that I am able to do this? Yeah. So Jesus said, yes, I do believe that you're able to go back to work. I don't know what he did. Then he touched their eyes and said, according to your faith, let it be done to you. And their sight was restored. Jesus warned them sternly. However, see that no one knows about this. But they went out and spread the news about him all over the region. It was one nice symbolism, but then it became 2 eyes so they could see them was not blind. About stores touching them eyes spread it. They start spreading it. Clark, I don't know. While they were going out, a man who was demon possessed, could not talk, was brought to Jesus. And when the demon was driven out, the man who had been mute spoke. The crowd was amazed and said, nothing like this has ever been seen in Israel. What was he doing with them demons? Okay, because I feel like when you get a demon out, I don't know if people doing this, but just think of it in the sense of a wild dog or animal with rabies. You're not supposed to just kick it out your motherfucking house, because then it can go from house to house and terrorize everybody's teeth. So he wanted something called shut the fuck up silence to get out, because somebody want to go be seasoned, spread that news. He feels, get out, demon, out, get out there and shut everybody the fuck up. Because he's not saying I need to put that motherfucker in a bottle, a Coptic jar, a bag, bean bag. I don't give a fuck what he said. He could put it in a bottle of mayonnaise. He not saying nothing. He just letting that demon go out there and be free. But whatever that demon is, it got something to do with shut up. The workers are fell. I don't know. Jesus, it was out there summoning demons. He had demons put to work. I think I know what a disciple is. It's getting a little late. I gotta get ready for work. So Godspeed. God bless. Bye.